guys, Professor Prime here with MyGenPlanet.com, and today we are taking a look at the Power Rangers Reignition series from Playmates. They are licensed by Hasbro to Playmates, so that's a really cool thing. And we're going to take a look at the Zords that they have released so far. Now, there's been a couple of things, I have a couple thoughts, because these are $20 a piece, and you need 5 of them, so it's about $100 to complete the Megazord. They have not released the Pterodactyl or the Mastodon in a way that's easy to obtain. They have been popping up here and there on Walmart.com, but then they go out of stock almost immediately. They will eventually get released later in October. From what I'm hearing, the rest of the line will be released in October. There are shippers that are showing up at Walmart's. They started showing up in early to mid July. My Walmart ended up getting them, and I snagged them, and I snagged everything that they had. Saber-Toothed Tiger, I got the Triceratops, and I got the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So let's go ahead and we'll just take a look at each one of them individually. First, we're going to take a look at the Saber-Toothed Tiger. This is a combination Dinozord, which I think is really cool. It does come with a firing missile feature, so I think that's actually really cool that they added that, because it's something they did do in the show. And you can see right here, I like this kind of like thing right here, where they kind of added like, you know, where it goes and the combination, you know, I think that's really cool. Here's the back of the box. I don't know why they have the arms down like this. All the promotional media for the Megazord is showing it that way, and that's actually not the correct way it actually comes up. I do believe it does come up, but for some reason the promotional artwork, they have it down. And I do like how they all combine, everything like that. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and let's get the Saber-Toothed Tiger put to the side, and then we'll look at the next one. Next, we have the Triceratops, and again, it also comes with a firing missile. I think it's really cool. Same kind of deal with the side of the box. Here's the back of the box, everything like that, you know. Nothing too different than the Saber-Toothed Tiger. So let's now take a look at the Tyrannosaurus. Here is the Tyrannosaurus box, and I think it's really cool because he is much bigger than the other Zords, and I appreciate the fact that they kept them all the same price, and they didn't, like, you know, charge like $35 for him, and then like say 19 or 15 for the other ones. They could have done that. So the fact that they kept him pretty much the same price point, I think is really cool. And again, it's the middle part, you know, and it actually looks the part. We'll get more in detail here, but let's go ahead and let's get these guys open and out of the box. All right, so we've got him out of the box, and I kind of want to give a first impression on these guys. Now, I want to say the plastic feels rather sturdy. I do find that, okay, we have a peg right here, and I'm assuming that peg is going to snap into the Mastodon, and I do appreciate there is a peg right here that you can, and it is kind of a tight, it is really tight connection port, so be careful with that. The arms have no articulation. You kind of can move them outwards, but they're just bending plastic at that point. The head, that's unfortunate, man. It kind of holds up. You can open it up right here. I wish that they had painted something in here, like maybe like put the blasters in here or something like that. I'm sure someone will come up with a 3D upgrade kit for this guy. It has very strong ratchets, and you can get the legs out that far, feet out that far. I mean, so you can get him into you can actually pose him pretty decently. You can kind of pose him kind of decently. So I appreciate that, you know, and considering that this is a $20 toy, and it is big. It is twice the size of like the Zap Megazord and all that, and the Zap Megazord is kind of a pain in the butt to take apart, so I'm not going to do any kind of comparisons with it because it's not really... I will do a comparison when I get all of them together and do Megazord mode. There's really no comparison. This is twice the size of the Zap Megazord. It's even twice the size of the original, which I don't have, and the Legacy version. I think there's 2 Legacy versions that were released. The gold and black, and I think there was a second reissue. And then the Solo Chajugan, that's pronounced? Anyways, I think this is even bigger than that one. So this is the biggest dinosaur that they have come out with, and of course, you know, you can do the combination for you know, I'm assuming it'll be like that, and then these would come up, and then the Pterodactyl actually plugs in right there, and you have that mode right there. So let's get the Saber-Toothed Tiger, and let's start looking at that guy. All right, here we're taking a look at the Saber-Toothed Tiger. First impressions, it feels good. We've got ratchets. This is kind of loose, but it does hold this position. It's got like small clicks here, so it does hold its position. And then you can plug in the tail. So I mean, I do like how you kind of articulate this. I do like that. The head. So you because of the transformation, you do have kind of a you can kind of pose it a little bit. You have no posability in the arms or the legs other than, upward motion, and you have somewhat forward and back movement because of transformation. You can move the head upwards that much. You can technically, this is for transformation mode, but for tiger mode, you want to have it down. No mouth articulation. I do wish that they had painted something in here just to kind of break it up a little bit, because there's a lot of yellow plastic. These are stickers. These are all stickers. It looks like this red might be painted, and otherwise it's just orange plastic, gray plastic, and I think the black is painted, and this is its own piece, and these are, I believe, these are their own piece as well. So, and I just lost that. That's hilarious. All right, so it does have this fire mechanism. The button's right here, so we'll go ahead and press it, and it's really strong, guys. You guys heard that? It's really strong. So yeah, I honestly, I think this is good. I appreciate that they added this functionality, which I don't think the original Megazord had that. I do know the Zap and the Legacy Megazord, you have like this kind of articulation it's mainly for combined mode, but having it in tiger mode like this actually makes it where you can really pose it, and I do appreciate that. So let's go ahead and let's get the Triceratops. All right, considering what you're getting here, ratchet, really strong ratchet. You got the outward motion. Otherwise, there's no wheels or anything, but you can't. It does slide. You have no articulation. You have head upwards, but that's due to transformation. But you don't have any. I'm disappointed. There's no like movement here. And then these are plastic stickers. The blue is paint. Looks like either the blue is paint. I think this blue is painted onto the silver. It's probably painted, or the silver's painted. It's one of the two, or it could just be. I think this might be two pieces plugged together. Stickers. This is two pieces plugged together. This is the black is painted. Black is all painted on here. It looks like there might be. These are stickers, maybe. Nope, that's painted. That's painted, and that's a sticker. And then you do get the motion here, and just for that, woo, that fires, man. Holy moly, that baby went far, guys. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I think just like that. You definitely want to be careful when messing with these, because you're definitely gonna lose. And then you just want to kind of. I love the ratchets of the T-Rex. It has a lot of ratchets in the feet and everything like that. It's good. I like it. There we go. And just so you guys are aware, they do come with instructions, but I don't need instructions because I have been a Power Ranger fan since 1993 when the show originally aired, so I don't really need any of that. Without further ado, let's transform the Dinozords that we have. We'll start with the T-Rex, which we've already done. You basically want to move these arms up, and just like I did with the legs, and you want to shift it all the way up. Just like that, and then you want to tilt the head this way. So we'll just go ahead and put him here. For the Saber-Toothed Tiger, again, be mindful of this button. Push this down, lock it in. These go down, move these up, and you want to just tilt the head down, and we are now ready for combined mode. And then here is the Triceratops. There's not a whole lot to do with the Triceratops. You just want to push this all the way down, and we're good to go. Now, you got a connection port right here. You got your port right here, and it just plugs straight in. It's a very simple, very easy connection, and you got the same thing with the Saber-Toothed Tiger, and it just plugs straight in, and there you go. There you have the Dino Megazord half in battle mode. I think that's what it was called. It's called battle mode. And then of course, if you want to go into Megazord mode, you want to just bring this up. This comes up. This head comes up. You want to rotate. When you do have to unplug the tail, The tail is going to just kind of float there because we do not have the mastodon to connect to. Then you want to pop this open, bring the head down, close this up, and then you can bring the Megazord up. I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. It looks really good. You've got outward motion. Same with the T-Rex, so you can do that. You'd have no backwards movement. You do have a full motion there. You do have this tilt. You do have this tilt right here. So that's kind of cool. But there's no tilt here. Oh wait, oh no, there is. I didn't see that before, so there is a tilt. So you can tilt that. That is cool. Okay, so there is a tilt. Okay, so you can do like an A stance. It's pretty stable, and it's big. It is a big boy, guys. So let's take a look at, so that we can take a look at this head sculpt. This head sculpt is amazing. Let's see here. Unfortunately, there's no articulation to the head. You cannot turn it or anything. But yeah, so unfortunately you can't. There's none of that. So that's kind of a bummer. All right, guys, and he's a big boy. So yeah, there is the Dino Megazord. Just show this because before we forget. So there's a button right here. This is the release. I gotta disconnect it. You have to really press on this to get this. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna put it back on here. You have to really push it and you have to pull it. So you have to really get in here. So for a kid, this is kind of you have to really press it to get it out. So that's unfortunate. All right, guys, there you have Dino Megazords reset that we have so far from Playmates. I'm gonna give these a recommendation. I'm gonna recommend these. If you are a fan of Power Rangers, I would most definitely recommend this set. It does have some limitations, like for example, the Triceratops does not have the same articulation that the Saber-Toothed Tiger does have in the head due to the ankle pivot function of the Megazord. The Tyrannosaurus has no head articulation, and that's due to transformation, and I do believe all versions of the Dino Megazord has been that way. But unfortunately, even when you go in the Megazord mode, the Megazord head has zero articulation. I feel like there's a little bit of an oversight. It should at least have like a head spin at the very least. Again, we're talking about a $20 toy, so there's no articulation in the T-Rex arms. There's only up and down movement due to transformation. No waist motion. There's no leg articulation other than your standard transformation movements from Saber-Toothed Tiger. And tail, I do appreciate the fact that they did add some kind of like articulation to the tails, and the missile gimmicks are actually rather cool, but I do recommend that you be very, very careful when using them because the button is very, very sensitive. So I recommend probably not storing it with those in there or you're going to lose them. But once you have them in bind mode, even if the button does get pressed, it is in the housing chamber, so it's not gonna come flying out. Otherwise, that's all I got to say. Pretty good set. Looking forward to getting the Mastodon and the Pterodactyl. And here's hoping they release a Dragonzord and maybe even a Titanus. That would be super cool to get something like that because I imagine the Titanus would have to be a big boy. It would have to be massive for that to happen. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed watching the video, be sure to leave me a like. Leave a comment down below. Are you guys into this set? Are you getting it? Or do you think it's a little late? Are you tired of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Are you tired of it? Let me know what you guys think. Comments. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed watching the video, check out this one right above here. And as always, guys, until next time.